Now that My Hero Academia has finally come to a close, let's end this debate once and for all. Which character in all of My Hero had the best character development, and which one owns the title of MVP? Now, I believe this question could differ for everyone, whether you refer to villains or heroes. And honestly, there are so many arguments that could justify damn near every single hero or villain taking that title. But if I had to give my 2 cents on it, I would definitely have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, Endeavor, above all else, is the one who had the most amount of character development and could be argued to be in that MVP lineup. And while he's not the MVP in my eyes, there's an explanation as to why he could be. In terms of Class 1A, the MVP with the most amount of character development goes to none other than Katsuki Bakugo, and I have good reason for it as well. Bakugo, as we know, went from being an absolute bully, a dickhead, to becoming one of the greatest characters in My Hero. He starts as arrogant, immature, and just aggressive altogether. But eventually he starts to understand the responsibility of teamwork. Also, finally understanding that Deku was never the problem and that it was him, and apologizing to him for everything that had happened. He then, without realizing it, becomes a hero that protects others. Exact opposite of what he thought he would be at the beginning of the series. As for the MVP, his powers are unbelievable. He won in the sports festival. The Kamino incident aftermath, after he initiated all that to help save All Might. The paranormal liberation, he goes and tries to save Deku from Shigaraki. And obviously the final battle against All For One. Now, as for Endeavor as a whole, this one just kind of makes sense. Starts off as an abusive parent, doesn't like his kids, wants to be the best in the world. Strictly pride-driven and damn near an anti-hero. Homie despised All Might because All Might was always at the top, and Endeavor wanted that. But eventually he understood what All Might's words meant and started using that, then became a better person because of it. There's just something that All Might had that Endeavor never could, and that pissed him off. It wasn't until he tried to atone for the faults in the past, becoming a better father altogether, even though it was pretty much too late, did he understand that that was the case. And he tried to atone for his past mistakes without demanding people to respect him for it, which is honestly very rare for a hero like this. And when All Might retired and he couldn't beat him while he was in his prime, he by default came the #1 hero, and he didn't like that. He got what he wanted, but not in the way that he wanted. And he had to carry the expectations of society after All Might retired. He fought a high-end Nomu, fought Shigaraki, and All For One. Even when he was injured and hated, he still stood up in order to fight. Without Endeavor, society would have collapsed way earlier than we thought. Whether you liked him or hated him, you had to deal with the fact that he was there. He was literally the only saving grace, at least during that time. And while fully he didn't regain his family, and why Dabi was a whole thing related to that, he tried his best, even though his kids didn't want anything from him, to rekindle all that. And no matter what kind of hardships he was put through during that, he didn't give up. He still wanted something with his kids. At that point, he didn't care about being a hero. He didn't care about the people accepting him for who he was. He only cared about his family because that's the only thing he had left. He wanted to train them to become just like him, one of the greatest heroes, but didn't recognize that the kids just wanted to be kids. They wanted him to be his dad. And the moment he realized it, it was almost too late. And it honestly kind of was, if we're being real. If anything, Endeavor just goes to show that heroes can be flawed. They're flawed people. It also goes to show that being the #1 hero isn't about glory. It's about endurance. Being able to withstand the public eye, putting on a face, even when things are hard. Not wanting it because you think you deserve it. So with all that being said, I am a firm believer that Endeavor is the one with the most character development and the MVP of the entirety of My Hero Academia. But I want to hear from you. Who do you think had the most amount of character development and deserves the title of MVP in MHA?